When buying your first vinyl player, you need to ensure that it can connect to whatever speaker you have available. So for instance, if you only have a Bluetooth speaker and you haven't bought proper speakers yet, you need to make sure your vinyl player can connect to a Bluetooth speaker. Maybe you've got a pair of active speakers, but you don't have a preamp. You need to make sure that your vinyl player has a preamp built in. Not every turntable comes with a preamp built in or Bluetooth, so you need to check these features and make sure that it can connect to your speakers. Otherwise, you're going to have to fork out more money for extra speakers as well, which is something you definitely don't want to have to do. What's going on, guys? My name is Ollie and welcome to my YouTube channel. It is my goal to introduce my passion of record collecting to a new generation of music lovers. So if that's something that resonates with you, then do consider hitting the subscribe button down below. But in this video, we are looking at 5 things that I would look for if I was buying a vinyl player for the first time. However, if you are looking to buy a new vinyl player, some of these tips would probably work for you too, so do continue to watch. The second thing I would look out for is how easy is this vinyl player to set up. When you're getting into vinyl collecting, everything can feel massively overwhelming, so you're probably just going to want to get the vinyl player out of the box and play your records straight away. Usually, the more expensive they get, the harder they are to set up, but in some cases, a lot of them come pre-installed. Most of the time, you'll be able to just take it out of the box and play it. So if I was going to buy a vinyl player again for the first time, I just want something that I could get out and play my records as easy as possible. That being said, maybe you enjoy a challenging setup and you just want to learn the process of setting up a vinyl player, in which case, maybe look for one that doesn't have an arm pre-installed or doesn't have the needle aligned. Go for one of those kind of record players instead. Number 3, think about what the full experience you want to get out of vinyl is. For instance, if you really want to experience dropping the needle on the record and doing everything yourself, look for a record player that doesn't have an automatic arm. If you're worried about damaging your records, then look for the automatic arm. These are fine as well. Maybe you want a record player that's belt driven so that you can experience better timing, or maybe you're not so worried about that. Maybe you want to experience playing records at 78 RPM, not just your normal 33 or 45, and you need to look for a record player that allows you to do this. Definitely make sure if you've got a few things in your head of different things that you want to do with your vinyl player, check these boxes off. Do you feel like you've learned something from this video? Well, if you have, do consider giving it a like and let me know in the comments down below, what was your first vinyl player and what is your latest vinyl player? Let me know in a comment down below. Number 4, do a bit of research into the build quality. Now, this might only apply to you if you want a record player that will last for years or maybe won't get damaged or whatever, but I do think that it makes you feel like you've got a more quality product if the build quality is better. For instance, my turntable here has a super solid build quality and it's lasted me ages. Maybe you don't intend to keep your vinyl player that long. Maybe you're just trying to dip your toes in. You want to experience what vinyl collecting's like and be able to play your records and then upgrade in the future. Maybe look for something that's less expensive and has a lower build quality just because you don't want to waste your money. Or maybe you're looking for something that will last you years and years and years. If you're interested in some vinyl player recommendations, I've left a link in the description with some of my favorite record players for a few different budgets. And last but certainly not least, I think you need to think about what your style or aesthetic is and look for a turntable that fits that style / aesthetic. Maybe you've got a certain aesthetic in your room and you want a record player that reflects that. For instance, you might have a really minimal room with not a lot of stuff in it, so you don't want a big bulky record player that just looks weird. Maybe you've got a really retro room and you want a record player that kind of fits that vibe. Maybe the clothes you wear are like 90s inspired, so you kind of want a 90s inspired record player. There's loads of options available, so definitely look out for what record player reflects you. At the end of the day, music is a reflection of ourselves and our characters, and so why should our record players not be the same? There you go, guys. There are my tips for you if you are buying a new vinyl player for the first time, but maybe you're not decided on whether vinyl is the right format for you. I have left a link to this video here which will hopefully help you make your mind about whether this is a hobby you want to get into, so definitely check that video out. Or you can click the link to subscribe here. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Leave a like down below and I will see you in the next one.